And welcome back to the wondrous wisdom show that is ESL Pro League, live at the Intel Esports Arena, where history is made and SEO looks wonderful.
Ah, that's nice.
That's what I do for you, mate. I got you. I got your back.
Yeah.
But, Ben, we're going to be delving into our last matchup of the night, and we see a return of Big once more, the home of the Big B stream here. Yeah,
apparently so. I mean, we've seen them quite a lot. That means we've got quite a decent grip in regards to how they play. The question is, will G2? We've seen them. Well, we've seen Big play Dust2, I think, for 5-6 times this season.
Yeah.
And the recurring trend appears to be God be behind the long doors.
He loves it. That is his home. If he was a plant, that would be where he'd like to sprout.
Perhaps.
Into a gob tree.
Gob tree.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, gob tree. Maybe. Perhaps. Right. So this is, I believe, is a matchup of actually what happened at the major. Big. It was either major or it was Cologne. I can't remember which, but they did play Dust2 and they played Cash with the two maps we've got coming up. In the previous match with Dust2, Big did win 16-1. So that's remarkably one-sided, but Dust2 sometimes does have matchups that do result in results like that. So you have situations where, like, for example, MIBR, I believe they got 16-0 by Astras at the major, which was a very, you won't expect that to happen again. That 16-1 that Big got, you probably won't expect that to happen again. G2, they've looked a lot better in recent weeks. They're slowly getting to grips with this lineup. The question is, what can they get done today?
The other question is, what does Betway think about the game, Ben? Let's have a look at the statistics for this one. So it's actually quite close there. Not too in favor of either side. Big going to be the favorites, though. And that's not too outrageous. I mean, obviously it's a map they have played well on, but there's been dips in that form. We've seen that earlier on as well. It's not a map where they will just outright dominate on. Sometimes they can have a bit of a struggle. Yeah,
it's a map, well, yesterday, I suppose, is where they struggled, right? We saw that CT side. Only 4 CT rounds, which, if you remember, Tizian was the only reason they got 2 of them. Right?
Yeah.
They rushed B into him twice. He controlled that bomb site completely. I imagine G2 won't be the kind of team that falls into that sort of error. G2, the last time we saw them on Dust2, at least with us two, at least, Snods and you saw them on Tuesday on it. We saw them get a 12-3 half, I believe, on T side against Heroic. So it's kind of bad news if they're doing that to Heroic. Heroic did that to Big. There's a bit of an order going on.
It's a cycle.
Yeah, some kind. So I'm looking to have G2 do quite well. The odds obviously do favour Big. In recent form, we consider all of the matches that have been played, Big do look like a better side. But G2, Dust2, its existence is calling ground, really, isn't it? Yeah,
it is. And obviously that's where existence can absolutely dominate. He should be able to orchestrate the team into a good position. I mean, these days, in terms of the fragging power, that's not what we're looking at him for, just being able to really be the head and the brains of the operation. But I want to see players like Shoxy be able to stop up this time, because last time it seemed like Shox was having a bit of an off day. Obviously, still one of the very good players we have out there in terms of a rifle. He can be absolutely fantastic, but that just didn't translate onto the server last time.
Yeah, it was more Kenny S, really, wasn't it? I believe he had 30 kills in that matchup. They did win, but, Shox being that low on the scoreboard is quite unusual. And as you said, we would like to see him do a lot better, because he's one of the players who, people were thinking about it, that G2 lineup before, he was calling and people were like, okay, that's why his results aren't doing too well, his stats aren't showing.
Yeah.
He had the issue with his wrist. Now he's not calling. I believe he is second in command, but still, that's a lot of relief off your shoulders.
Yeah.
He should be performing, and we get flashes of it here and there, but we haven't had a full game of it.
It's true, and it's looked very uncharacteristic of him compared to how he used to play back in the day and how effective he would be. So a bit of a weird change coming through there, obviously, from Shoxy. Hopefully he can start to reinvigorate himself, find out whatever the issues are that are causing this, and they can remedy that, because G2 have started getting a few more wins on the board now. They actually did push themselves further up in the results. Compared to how they were looking, things had improved, and maybe they can actually, try and get another upset win here. I think this could be a series where we see both teams possibly drop a map.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them split it, right? A 1-1 wouldn't be too far-fetched, I think. The question is which one goes which way, right? So they've played Cash before as well. That was a big overtime victory. So that shows, that they are quite, well, they were evenly matched on that one, map. However, G2, they've been quite shaky on that map in the past. There was a game against Complexity. They got completely destroyed. I think it was 16-4. That's Complexity as well. It's not a side that you consider 16-4 thrashing to be coming from, really.
It is a bit odd when, Complexity are the team that are dominating that hard, because obviously they're still going through their own ups and downs and can be quite inconsistent. But we are almost ready to get underway and kick this one off. So for the first map, Ben, what are your predictions between these two sides?
I'm going to go with a G2 victory. I think Big will start slow, but because of the difference in caliber on teams, I think G2 will be able to react quite well from it.
Well, hopefully we can see a little bit of life coming through. I think Big do have potential going into this, but everyone needs to be playing well. Smooya looked very underwhelming yesterday compared to what we expect. Was below the average that we like to see coming out from him, missing shots that it felt like normally he would be hitting, and left us a bit of a weird position where it seemed almost as if tabseN had to pick up that primary AWP role to find them success.
The thing is, as well, he only started showing up when it was the last game of the day.
Yeah.
Like on train, he was looking fine. But if we're thinking he has to show up really late, he needs a lot of games to get to where he wants to be. It might be too late already. You know, it depends on how many games they've already played today. It's practice games or if they have at all. But, you know, we got to be hoping that we see something better for him because he has been kind of disappointing this week. Yeah,
it's been a little bit of a sad showing. Hopefully he can get some momentum behind him. We are going to be delving into it. The map will be Dust2. Big over on the T side. The CTs will be Gamers2.
I believe they don't use the branding Gamers2.
Do they not go for Gamers2 anymore?
No.
It's quite funny, isn't it?
They went away from it.
Yeah, just G2 now.
Yeah.
Gamers3.
Shocks. That's a good start. tabseN, the player who, I believe he's top 5 in terms of actual player stats of all of Pro League currently. Unfortunately, losing him is a big hit on that side of Big. They are trying to force this long take though. Shock's still here. Gonna get a chance to get even more, but he only gets some damage across the board. And Kenny, so low as well. This A split is coming through a neck, starting strong again. We've mentioned he's one of those players, if you give him a chance, he will shine.
Oh, Smith's gonna get that kill, eliminate Smooya. So it's a 3 versus 3 retake here. Bomb is down. Smith's Kenny S in existence of the squad that is coming in. Existence gets contact there. He must have spotted him through the radar, tries to hammer down. Can't quite get the shots off though, so won't be able to bag him out. And it's not going well. Kenny S has already been eliminated. Smith's only on 1 HP. He will also suffer the same fate, Ben. So Big, a very nice opening pistol round here, as they should get away with 3 survivors, and there will be no survivors for the G2 side.
Next with a 3k, gets those 2 entries towards long. The fact that they were able to lose tabseN and not even get the trade instantly, they were able to wait long enough. That Shocks was still in a bad position. He wasn't really able to get anything going. Next, though, 2 kills on that long take, followed by a 3rd right at the end there. A P90 buy from GobB. That's a different one.
That is a bit unorthodox. Not a weapon you very commonly see. Obviously, you do not get the kill reward bonus with a P90.
Yeah, it's only 300 for that. So, bit of a weird one, I guess. It depends when does he get involved with weapons. One of the smokes has missed for the crossover due to being blocked by a player, which means they've only got that one smoke. There's a huge gap in that. They have to flash and try and cross. Looks like they will be doing that anyway. He's having that firepower available to them. Should be able to deal with the enemies in front of them. Just Existence left with his P2000. Just looking for some kind of exit kill here. Can't imagine we get given much. Holding on the outside of long. Smooya looking more towards the tunnel sort of way. Thing is, there's no real harm in Existence actually living here, because it does avoid people like Smooya, for example, with the SMG. Keeps them from getting that kill reward.
Yeah, if you can avoid giving them any additional cash, you might as well. Good thing is, though, the longer GobB holds onto the P90, the more chance he'll probably have in having to throw it away and buy a different gun. Because you do see a lot of players that won't like to hold onto it. Smooya. Very awkward. Get the kill in the end, Ben.
Yeah, it does get the $600, but bit of an awkward one. Not much of a confidence boost for either player, I guess.
It's more frustrating than anything.
Yeah. But the buy will come through from G2. So head armor on 2 of the players. Or 3 of the players, sorry. 2 of them without. Shocks and Existence, the 2 without. And it looks like they want to take control of long on the side of G2. They boosted Shocks though. This is really aggressive. Going straight for this mid peak. He will catch one off guard, but the trade was there. That's the P90 down. So it's not really a bad loss by any means. And you have technically traded GobB for Shocks, which, in terms of a flat trade, you're thinking that's fantastic. Question is, will there be a good flash for this corner? The Existence looking the wrong way. I mean, Kenny was there to take the contact, but tabseN went so far wide that there was a free kill.
Oh, push comes down through mid. Smith's going to be able to get the headshot off on Smooya. Next will trade it back with the AK. And here's now a 2 versus 3. They're going to go for the counter boost over as well, so Body put in the elevated angle. Peering over as he drops down, makes a little bit of noise. Next going to cascade out the Molotov and burn Kenny S up as he begins to retreat. He's going to have to try and fall back and stay alive here. Ooh, shot up by Nex. And Body with a trade, gets the pick back, but it is just on the save. That's all he can achieve into this round, and he absolutely goes for it, Ben. He's on a tear as he finds that headshot on Tizian. He doesn't have a kit.
He checks this side. He'll check it just out of curiosity, but Tabson, it's a free kill. So Body, bit of false confidence, you could say, I guess. Like, you know, if he gets the 2 kills and thinks, I might be able to win this, he had no kit.
Yeah.
So it was always going to go in Big's favour. Bit of a weird one, though. Smooya picking up the SG. Mach 10 on God B, perhaps they might trade those. Later on in the round, depending on a spawn, perhaps. In fact, no, Smooya keeps it himself. So the long take will come through. Existence using the counter flashes as well at the same time. So it's a full-on battle at one. Obviously, there's a big firepower difference, but Shox is still alive. They've not checked for him. They don't know.
Oh, Shoxy. You can do so much.
A better weapon is all you got to be thinking here, right? If a player goes in pit, this is going to be free, but God B.
This is the dream,
You might as well try and get the knife
Yeah,
kill.
he could go for the knife stab here, grab the gun, you'd be silent, you still have ammo, you'd be able to switch out, but that's all he really needs to do. He's still trying to play for the trigger discipline, but he's left it too long.
There. Oh, no!
Oh, Shox. I mean, luckily he gets that 1 kill, can kill God B.
Here's Smooya as well. He nearly kills him as well, though. If he killed him, that might have been a chance, I guess.
It's unfortunate, really. I mean, it's such a hard decision to make, obviously, from the first perspective. We have more of a view on what's going on, but it is still a rough position to be in for Shox.
Yeah, perhaps. Probably should have taken that chance, I guess, to try and get the knife kill. Like, even if you do get found out, it's $1,500,
yeah,
right?
It's the money you make, plus the possibility of then having a gun building into the round.
The gun will at least be on you.
Yeah.
Right.
Because as soon as you stab him, it will be instantly picked up.
Yeah, so 4-0 to Big, though. I thought there would be a slow start from Big. Looking a lot quicker here. Perhaps acknowledging this is a good map for G2 normally. Start strong if we can. Body's made it all the way across the pit. They have no ideas here. Again, another player in pit without being found out. Although Body has a rifle. Much better chance. They actually got flash and check it.
Oh, Body! Huge tag as well. God B's fairly low here. And this isn't looking too amazing. The Molotov going to be dropped in, so Nex finds the kill nevertheless. Kenny S as well from the site. Tries to get the shots off with the AWP, but he is overthrown by Smooya. And the Butterfield continues on his warpath as well. Wants to try and cut down Smiths, who'll be walking straight into his crosshair.
Oh, Smiths on that shot. Copy.
It's the trade.
That was a lovely shot. Sadly, though, the shot means nothing. 5-0 to Big. I think we have one more buy round, perhaps, out of G2 before a pause. But so the rhythm of the buy rounds doesn't really work the same as it used to now. So technically, you'd have your 3rd buy round. And if you lost the 3rd buy round, it would be round 7 that you lose.
Yeah.
You'd be 7-0 down at that point. It kind of changes the way you might need to think about things if you are normally following a rhythm or a pattern. That's a good start, though.
Oh, that is absolutely outrageous.
That's a really good start. Proactive movement from both Smith's Body and Existence there. They get the bomb down, too. This is a winnable round. They've only invested pistol armor.
Yeah, very, very tidy. So much damage done into this round. It's a 5-0 scoreline. Minute and 20 seconds on the clock. Gonna drop that molly out, throw the smoke through as well. Oh, a little bit of damage done there onto Shox. Brings him down to 92.
Yeah, I think he just jumped off short a bit. Aggressively. Just Tizian left there. See Smith, he was thinking about the peak. Unfortunately, a bit too slow with it. Tizian does get that kill. It's 1v4, now into a 1v3. Still winnable.
It depends on the timing as well, because I mean, if he actually just was to beeline it out through tunnels, he'd be going against the one player that has the weaker buy, because Shox only has a deagle in his hands, whereas Kenny S and Existence have both the rifles. But they've rotated off now. Kenny's still holding towards mid, heavily scoped in. It's quite an aggressive stance, Ben.
Yeah, it's a right-hand peek for Tizian here as well. If he checks the doors slowly, he can get the drop on Kenny. But Kenny has moved further back now. If Kenny gets killed, I imagine Existence gets the trade. He's actually looking towards the doors as well.
Oh. Misses the initial jump. Fires a warning shot towards mid, makes his move up
Kenny
towards the A
mid.
site. Kenny should be in position, normally hits these openers. He goes down and his whole body's as a jump pen. He was terrified. Scared the life out of him with that kill. Gonna drop the bomb down as well. It's a 1 versus 1. Tizian being quite spooky here in the month of October. What more can he achieve into the round as he realized the long push is coming out? Existence. Gonna try and capitalize as well with a face from short with the correct timing.
Ooh.
Finds that headshot. Tizian needed a flick back around. 1v1 versus Shocks. But the Deagle shutdown comes through. That's so unfortunate. Did so much work into the round. And I did not realize Kenny S was an acrobat.
I can't believe
that ragdoll.
I've not seen that sort of bug since like CSS.
That absolutely buckled me.
Oh, he went flying.
Just gonna join the circus.
God.
There we go.
Look at that again. Landed on his head.
Yeah. That one's a 10.
Yeah, I think that is a solid 10 to be fair. If there ever was a 10.
Yeah, that's a 10. Aerated. Warm it up. That's a 10.
So the double AWP comes through from Smooya and Tabson. And that's an entry kill as well from Tabson. He's been so good with that AWP, even though he's so crisp with the rifle. The fact he's able to use both to that level, it's a nice thing to have in a team. Although Kenny, missing a shot, I feel like that's a shot he normally lands as well.
You'd think so, Ben, but not today. Because it hasn't gone well. And this is scary as well because G2, they inadvertently might have just set themselves up for a failure here. Because if they get reset, their economy will be tarnished and everything would start to decline quite rapidly.
Shock's trying to make a play, but Smooya, Shock's not able to, capitalize on the peak he had. Kenny has to try and rectify this, but it's going to be too late. Smooya's already gone. And then A take is going to be coming through. God B, he's got a gigantic lurk that he'll try and complete later on. Molotov is there, but it's a bit too far. And Kenny, not really realizing he's holding a left-hand peak right there. And Smiths, I think, was shooting Existence in the feet, perhaps?
Ooh. Got B, gets B site control. And Tabs will be able to find that final kill onto Existence, so...
I think a pause might be in order.
Yeah, you'd probably imagine so, because they've just been completely reset off the back of that. No pause, though.
That's so weird. That round kind of fell apart quite quickly. Yeah, there it is.
The late pause.
Well, this is where we find out it's Big's pause.
Make the most of the freeze time there.
Yeah, that is the classic. You use 10 seconds of that freeze time, then call the pause. Gives you an extra 20 seconds, I believe, technically, because the reset time, or the freeze time goes back to normal.
It goes back to 15 afterwards, so you get the extra time.
Yeah, so you make 20 seconds out of thin air.
Smart. Classic Existence.
That's classic Existence,
yeah,
really.
It really is. Vintage Big Kev.
Yeah, so the pause makes sense because that round fell apart very quickly, like a quick flurry of kills across the board. Shock's trying to make the kill, or trying to, balance the scoreboard, I guess, because it was already a 4v5 due to body falling. And I imagine they were talking about the buy, perhaps, because Kenny was the only one who could have purchased, a real weapon, I guess. But instead he goes for the Deagle armor, smokes mid for the 2B players. And Big going straight back to A-Long. This has been the place of comfort for them so far. So Smooya holding that T-spawn where he'll do the Xbox smoke. And he gets the kill towards body as well. The question is, how quick will Smiths get here? Will he run the whole way? Smooya seems very content with the possibility of that, and he lands the kills. Smiths actually landed a headshot there on the run. This should be 7-1 though in favor of Big, really, unless they mess up, drastically heading to this bomb site. Shox is thinking about a peek. Smokes come in. Should be the execute here as well.
Ooh.
That's a lovely shot, Kenny.
Yeah, that was nicely played. Connects that headshot there, eliminates Tizian. 2 players that remain, Kenny S in Existence, as they'll try and shut this round down. Next, just going for the spam out. Kenny S will be punished, and it's all up to Existence. In a horrible predicament here. And again, begins to fall back. It's going to be a 7-1 scoreline, Ben. Big. Where was this last time we saw them on Dust2?
It seems like they've come into this game a lot more awake, perhaps. Thinking more we need to guarantee these wins, because right now we can't even guarantee we're in the playoffs yet. If we get this 2-0, this is a team that are challenging around the same sorts that we are currently sat in. That'll be a really nice head-to-head advantage. 7-1 there. So Kenny S picks up that AWP. Otherwise surrounded by rifles. And they're sending just Smiths towards that B side. This is super aggressive from Big. 3 players straight down mid. Tabson going towards that pixel short. He actually gets the kill on Existence there. I thought Existence had the drop on him. And Tabson, he thought about turning around Shocks. He's got it all to do here. And that's not a good start at all.
Oh, it's gone quite badly. Tabson going to get the pick back on Shocks. Will punish him with the AWP. Smith's playing from the bomb site, waiting for the push to come through, but Smooya overthrows him with the AK. And this has got to be another round for Big, surely. It should be an 8-1 half now. G2 just can't get anything going in their favor.
Nothing seems to be going their way at all. Like Existence, it looked like he had the drop on Tabson. Shocks should have definitely killed Tabson. And unfortunately, no kills currently this round. Bigger hunting as well. Kenny in the pit spotted. You probably guarantee that body is nearby as well. Big don't necessarily have a lot of money to hunt with, is the interesting part about this. But they are going to try and do it. Oh, what a shot by God B. And body gets taken down. So they lose all of the weapons they had just purchased into. And you've got to be thinking, a pause might be on the cards next round, perhaps. Because they need to try and do something. Slow down the momentum, think about doing an action themselves. The round they had, you know, played correctly. They were proactive towards tunnels, they got that lower push in. It's not looking like anything like that could happen now. Incredibly one-sided.
Ooh, the aggressive burst from Tizian finds himself the first frag, and the follow-up could even be a third here if he's lucky, as the push will come through, just able to spray and pray. Kenny S is donezo, and next with the easy double kill, as he will pop their heads like grapes, Ben. That is a 9-1 scoreline.
I was saying that, you know, there are quite a few anomalies when it comes to Dust2. Like a lot of results that are one-sided.
Yeah.
We're looking at possibly 16-1 from Big.
Yeah.
Which is not great if you're a G2 fan, I suppose.
It's not great for your prediction either.
No, it's not at all. Not at all. I've already got it wrong with Big starting off strong. So a lot of flashbangs being thrown there. G2, they haven't even got a fantastic buy-in here. Like, they've got the AWP, but they know they just need to try and get some rounds on the board. Like, all the members are Big currently, just playing so confident. Body's gonna flash, Shocks in. Shocks pushes forward a bit, and he falls to Smooya's AWP.
That's rough. Smooya finds that kill on Shocks. The round's starting to fall apart already. There's a dink there, but he can't really convert it. And now you've lost body. You're outnumbered quite majorly. They're just going to swarm. The A site is completely open as well, Ben. This could be a 10-1 half. At that point, they can still try and spiral out of control. G2, if they're going to save this, they need to save all 3 of those guns. They have no money.
Whereas Big have got bank loads of it. They're ready to hunt for this. It's a guaranteed round at this point. The question is, are Big even willing to do it? You can see they're not as aggressive as they were in the previous round, where they tried to hunt. Devastating so far for them. Not looking good at all. Still another 15 seconds left before this bomb explodes. Smiths might be in a spot of bother if Tizian goes for this peek correctly. And that he does. So that's another gun gone. The late collapse, Smooya peeking the angle towards lower. Doesn't get the kill, Existence will stay alive. And he does get 2 though. So Big, all in all, they technically lose 4 players. I think somebody died to a bomb plant. Might have been God B actually. But G2, they lose a player for that save. And if you're Big, you probably think that's fine. And G2 go for their second pause. They kind of need to. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them use every single pause in the last few rounds here, because they need to get into this game.
Yeah, nothing's gone their way at all. Existence, not someone that would like them to let this slip away as well. The frustration will probably be building, so pauses will keep coming out to try and work out why this is going wrong and what they can adapt. An adaptation is necessary. They must have a backup plan they could fall into, because G2 completely overthrown right now. CT side is just weak compared to what Big are bringing to the table, Ben.
Yeah, it's not even like they're making the wrong moves at times. A lot of it's even mechanical, right? Shocks not really playing too well.
They just can't win the firefights. They can't hold their angles. You know, Big
they're being outplayed just in general.
Looking like the better team right now, Ben.
By a long shot, and the aggression towards short comes through. Smooth has already orchestrated that. Kenny S is just sat in the fire. He's going to die to it as well.
Oh.
Like, that's not the kind of play you want to see coming out of a pause at all.
No.
On the same A-long take coming through from Big. Confident as ever.
Oh.
Existence!
That's like a pre-fire AWP
It felt
shot.
like it, didn't it? Tizian died, you know, beyond the angle, he felt like, well, just before he actually got into it.
Existence. He's got one. Can he get any more? Goes to fight against the Smoothie, but... Alright. Flicks up and deals with it in seconds. Shocks as well now in such a horrible position, but he is finding the headshots. However, Nex will overthrow him. That'll be the double AWP save on the T side there for Big. 11-1.
I suppose if you look at the scores for Nex, Tabson and Smoothie, this is what you want to see, really, from the lineup, right? You want all three of those players doing really well. Tizian slowly behind them.
This is how it's supposed to look.
Yeah. Like, the IGL bottom, technically, you know, chiming in when needed. He hasn't needed to do anything. He's making the right calls. Tizian getting some kills here and there. He nearly won that clutch round that G2 actually did get on the board. And Tizian, he's very willing to make these plays. He's the guy who's been sent out at long here.
Rather selfless and a lot of confidence in himself into making the awkward rounds work. Not this time, though. Existence and Shocks will find a killer piece. Bear in mind, though, if they win this, they need to actually chain rounds together, because Big will be able to instantly rebuy up. And at that point, G2 could leave themselves completely broken, that it could go to sort of like a 13-2 half if they win this one and then lose the next.
Smiths has only got a P250. He's got $2,600 in the bank.
Luckily, it's all he needs, man.
Apparently, in this instance, that is the case. If he were in a firefight, though, you've got to be thinking the fact that he hasn't bought a weapon would have...
Yeah, it would have been quite awkward.
Yeah. So, ooh, got B. I suppose he's not a prominent AWP, but he does throw that on the floor, though.
Yeah, doesn't
so
want it.
They might scavenge that.
He has just dropped it to the CTs, though. Bit awkward.
Next, Cena play towards long. Take the fight towards it. Body.
God, B is so keen
He's
for the
aggressive.
fight. Yeah. The angles that he's playing from.
So a very interesting one in terms of they got 2 entry kills, and from there they couldn't really mess up further, could they, I guess, right?
I don't think they know where that second AWP's gone, because it dropped to CT. So they might not pick it up unless they just only want the one on Kenny.
Perhaps only the one. That's one thing you know we haven't actually seen from them. Usually teams, when they start losing these games heavily, they resort straight to that double AWP. And
no, they must have.
They must not.
Yeah, they just didn't know where it was.
He threw it into CT. Somehow it's outmaneuvered them completely.
They've been duped by the AWP.
So fair play. Big brain got B apparently.
100 IQ AWP save.
Oh, that's not how you use the AWP straight into the second round either.
No.
Kenny S.
Oh no!
As well. Both AWPs are already gone. Both dying at mid is just the worst situation there. Body does get a kill back onto Tizian at least, but you know they'll recognise there's a player towards that. We can probably just take up short. Shocks in CT, hoping to get a good impact here. He does have an AK, so the headshot angle in his favour.
Oh.
However, he needs to be landing the headshots with that AK to make use of it.
That doesn't look like Shocks at all.
The confidence is gone, I think.
It's like the fire in his heart has just gone out, Ben. Like a Charizard's tail. The rain's poured on it.
Sad.
Someone get a lighter.
Very sad indeed. G2, this is probably going to be a 13-2 unless they can come up with something from this round. Next to no investment for them. I'm surprised that Big haven't actually bought auto snipers and stuff to spam the doors. That smoke was terrible as well. There's a huge gap in the middle for Smooth to actually watch. And Tizian, he did see him run through the smoke. Shox does get the kill, but you got to be thinking the trade comes any second.
Ooh.
He's staying alive for a long time here, though. He's doing really well to run around.
It's a game of ring around the rosies, Ben. It's a very awkward one at that. But Body ruins all the fun as he turns up to the party with a gun. Will kill next. Smooth going to trade it back. Gets that shot off and eliminates Body. Tabson as well. Punishes Kenny S. So we're into the 3 versus 2 now. An existence. A huge gap in that smoke. What will he opt to do here? Ooh, take a molly to the face.
He has to push through as well. Smith's now arriving on the scene. That's a bit of a big ask, isn't it? CZ needs to kill 3 of them.
He physically won't have enough ammo to kill all 3.
We didn't get a chance to kill 1.
No.
A 13-2 half from Big. That's...
Despicable.
Maybe these teams, we had that triangle of things like Heroic, Big, and G2. Maybe the issue is they all just need to work on the CT side.
Yeah.
So you can see the odds there. Not surprising by any means, really. But...
That's an oof.
That is a big oof.
Big oof.
Yeah. Incredibly one-sided game thus far. Lacking inspiration on that GC side. Nobody's really getting anything going.
Lacking confidence, no real plays. When they try and go for a hero play, it's instantly stubbed out. Kenny S fumbling to extinguish fires, Shox, not even looking like himself. It's just a very bizarre affair from the team. And the risk they run is how quickly they could be absolutely dissected and ripped to pieces here by Big when the sides flip.
I mentioned it earlier with the round difference. So I was saying, when they win games, it's quite close.
Yeah.
When they lose, they get just destroyed.
Yeah.
Apparently, that is the case.
Their round difference is absolutely horrific in the league.
Considering they're like nearly even what maps won and lost.
Because it was like 72, minus 72, wasn't it?
It was something weird like that, but yeah. You can see Existence and Body taking up the grenade roles for this round. They'll be running into Smooya though. Flash is going to come in. Smooya's managed to get all the way across.
Oh. Smooya.
That was a lovely counter flash. God B.
My goodness. It's like they're on a trampoline, Ben. They're all bouncing up and down, but no one's socks will be slipping down tonight as they take that pick control. Smooya, he'll be the only one slipping over and not onto his backside into death, Ben, as he's been finished off. Shox as well with the follow-up frags. This is the return of the Shoxy. Finally starts to step it up as he will punish 2 players there and look for a little bit more as they extend around. Tabson just lurking towards T-spawn. He goes down. Body will go and fight against him. It's all up to Nex in a 1 versus 3. He would require the quad kill to win the round. Touches his silencer, gives himself a bit of a confidence boost, but can he pick it up?
There is a kit, however.
Oh, he's been spammed.
Seems to be a bit stuck in the smoke. They'll find that 1v1 was Kenny, but
oof.
Took him a while to get the kill.
He's very low.
Shox is also quite low. Unfortunately, Body keeping in that, that headshot angle. He had no armor in pit. And they do get the pistol, but
it wasn't a great round.
It was a bit scrappy. You probably think Smooya should have done a bit better there. God B saved him with a beautiful flash.
The flash was absolutely bueno.
Got all of them. And unfortunately, it is quite hard to hit terrorist players when they're just jumping around a bit. Fully blind. So G2 hoping to make a bit of a comeback. However, I feel like they can't start believing until beyond maybe a 3rd buy round, perhaps. It's a long one.
The echo of the AK through the map there towards mid. Smith's as well, scout in his hand. But look how timid they are into this round, expecting a push to come through, waiting for the aggression to be displayed from Big Clan. But they lose the brains of the operation. God B is done for. Tabson as well going to get tagged up. But Existence actually comes out worse for wear. And Kenny S is completely obliterated.
The bomb is stuck at the top of mid.
Oh, look at the swarm.
That's the bomb gone. And that's 2, well, it's an AK and I believe a Galil.
Yeah, should be.
If they want to recover it.
They leaving the Galil? All right. Didn't fancy it.
It's a Tizian. He's going to keep the headshot angle. Very smart. Makes this round winnable for them, though. Yeah, especially if you're taking that fight like that.
You're giving it to him.
Close, though.
Smooya needs to play around his teammate here in Tizian.
Whoa!
Tizian's winning the round single-handedly, Ben.
What a lovely shot. And they know where the last player is in Shocks. Does grab the bomb, flashes it. They'll know that information.
That must mean he's retreating to them. Okay, so he sends Smooya up long. He isn't going to have a gun. He will just have the P250. Tizian has the AK. And the face is going to come through. That's the early detection to Shocks, now making his move back round towards short. However, both of them have now grouped up, Ben.
They've got a smoke as well. However, Shocks, he knows he needs to make some kind of play. It's 2v1, doesn't be shot from both angles.
He's given Smooya the AK, but Smooya's gone. Tizian, he should have kept it himself in this situation. And Shocks overthrows him.
That just guarantees that Big are going to buy.
Yeah.
The fact that they got down to, you know, a 2v1 in their favour. That's so bizarre, though. You know, Shocks made the play on his own towards, you know, the A side of the map. He got that kill, got to A site. But then they just left the bomber at top mid with, you know, it was Kenny S in existence, I believe. Very awkward. And that pressure towards A long. God B, he was always able to get that nade into the long doors. Whenever people push out, even if he's blind, he knows exactly where the muscle memory is. And that's a really nice kill from Smiths.
That was very nicely played.
He does surprisingly well with the lurk side on Dust2. He's really well. It's a comfortable map for him. And God B gets taken down as well. Tabson is still alive towards this A site. It's going to be a nice nade as well. Good damage across the board. That means 4 players are now one shot with M4 to the head. However, they need to land the shots.
Yeah, you got to hit him in the head still. And that's not happening now. Tabson as well going to retreat. This is just going to be the save, surely. Call it quits. It's not worth it.
Tizian did grab the AWP before pulling out there. Well, this hunt, it's about 45 seconds long here. And you can see G2 mobilizing. Shocks did spot a player there. Tabson and Tizian switch gun. Shocks about to come in the corner, dealt with. And they'll be coming around here just as Smiths was about to take the peek. However, you can see a bit more timid. Holding back a bit.
Yeah, not as confident to go for the aggression. Probably a smart call to be made. Tabson, however, brought down to 51 HP. Ben is being tagged up. Quite a predicament to be in. Tizian attempts to support his teammate.
Last 5 seconds. They're planning to run boost through that smoke. However, that results in a now run through the smoke. Both get taken down and Tabson loses the AWP. But they keep an M4. Bit of a scrappy one.
Yeah, very, very messy. I mean, it was still quite costly, though. Nearly everyone on the side of G2 went down. And Big, they've got enough of a buffer. They can afford to concede some rounds here.
This is normally where we see them go for a half bar. You can see the armors coming in there, CZs. Not many grenades, and Shocks get stabbed in the back by body.
What is it with people stabbing each other?
I don't know. Smooya, that's a nice kill. Felt like he should have been doing damage to the body there, but apparently not. Really aggressive toward tunnels. And that's the M4 spotted on the map, though. Tabson, you can hear them charging. He's just going to go for a wide swing. Body was ready for it, though. So it is a 2v3. Technically, this is still winnable. But you're asking a lot of Tizian with that M4.
Yeah.
Although, Nex has grabbed an AK. So if he was able to catch body, this would be very winnable. But he does. Kenny in existence. They've not had fantastic games, to be fair. Tizian has an armor as well, but unfortunately he loses the firefight. The fact that Kenny is willing to take that fight is so weird, I feel. He just, you know, you're not in the position to be taking that risk. You had some of these rounds go down to be, you know, 2 people alive, 1 person alive. It's so risky. They don't need to do that. They need to be going for the low risk, low reward just to slowly get back in the game.
It's the fact as well, I mean, for Big, they're in a position where, in reality, they didn't even need to go too crazy into these rounds, right? They know they can just afford to concede a couple of rounds.
Let G2 make the error.
Yeah, you have the big buffer here in terms of rounds. Concede the rounds, get yourself into a good position where you cash, buy up, win.
That's all they need to do, and because of G2 losing so many players in those previous rounds, you can see the money's taking a hit. Kenny now going for the AWP. Not had a fantastic game, but does tag Smooya.
Didn't even look like that was really a tag there.
Did feel a bit behind him.
He's been intapped.
For the first time ever, the statement is true.
Classic Lazar.
Typical. Because he doesn't realise his massive biceps are off the... You know, they catch the back of it every single time.
They're still sticking out.
Yeah. Some
say you can see him from long when he's playing B site.
So Shocks with an interesting spot. I don't know what it actually goes towards. Smoothie has been mollied. He'll have to pull away, but he did molly the push on the way. So they ran through quite a lot of fire there. This should be pretty easy to hold on to. Tizian's still alive as well. There's 3 players in this.
Oh, Smoothie with the over flick. That's not ideal, but luckily you got Tizian on the site, and he is triumphant as ever. Each and every one of them get decimated by the Grim Reaper himself. Shoxy with a backstab will slay Tizian and looks to try and put some more gamers to bed. But he is trapped in a 1v2, Ben. And the bomb is irrecoverable at this point. Irrecoverable? Irrecoverable at this point.
He's already won a 1v2 on this side, this half. This is a bit of a harder one, though. Tizian playing under window. They're not playing together on the CT side, is the worry. So he can find 1v1s if he does play it correctly.
He's just sat on the window,
Smoke's done nothing.
No.
It's just given Tizian a wall.
Given
but that
Tizian
means
a bit
that the
of a
players
hat.
can play together.
Ooh. Flashbangs go out. Tizian from behind his newly found afro of smoke gets the headshot.
And look at G2's money. 5,300 is the highest in existence. I wouldn't be surprised if they call the pause. They really need to talk about what they want to do with this buy. You can tell they're talking it over quite a lot, and the pause has come through quite late. They want to make sure they use all the freeze time they could.
Yeah, get the most out of it. They needed to slow this down quite a lot. It's 14-6.
I remember G2 did a strat towards B at the major, which was a force buy strategy, so we might see it come in here. But it was basically using like the B entrance smoke. You then slow walk behind it. Usually that gets spammed, but you wait for the spam to happen, then you walk behind it. And they had flashes set where a player would run in backwards, but with a flash lined up. So the same way you used to do it on Cobble, there was a smoke that people did. And I remember it was Kenny, did a flash through that. It was a really nice strategy in theory, but if they were to do that against Tizian, he's having a pretty solid game. You know, I was saying he was just behind that trio, but he's not been exactly playing badly. He's just been playing, you know, that supporty role.
Yeah.
And the player's towards B, but it looks like they're heading towards lower instead. So they're going to use that B entrance smoke. Existence now arriving along with Kenny S. A B split might be the initial call here, at the very least. Shocks. Existence about to smoke in. Molotov's on the backside. Here comes the rush.
Tizian needs to be effective into this one. Ben gets the close range kill. Pushes through the smoke. They have no idea where he is.
He's actually got that kill into Smiths.
Got the follow-up headshot as well. This has not gone well at all for that side. Luckily, Shocks has come through mid, but Nex is there to trade it. The damage is done, and Kenny S is trapped in a 1 versus 3. Surely he loses this round. I mean, they've got the backstab slowly developing as well. Oh, the spam down. No kills found for him, and he's already on 8 HP. He is finished off by the USP of Nex. That is a 15-6 scoreline.
I mean, I mentioned the possibility of some kind of B execute on the force buy. Wasn't the one I thought in mind, but it did come through in Tizian. As I said, he's not having a bad game by any means. He gets 2 kills. One of them he probably shouldn't have, to be fair. But ultimately, he gets the 2 kills. He delays them as well on the way in. And G2, they're going straight back towards B again. It might just be a fast rush. Just get it over with. Looks like that's the case. They're running straight through the fire. Body goes in. Shocks as well. They're all just falling down.
Dropping like flies, Ben. This should surely be the end of the game. Smiths and Kenny S will find a killer piece, though. Well, it's unlikely they get too much. Tapson messes up the Molotov, but still going to try and commit to it. Lands the shot. That is the bomb dropped, and Kenny S should be the next man to hit the DECK. Tried to slay with the AK, but today is not a good day for Kenny S. That is a win for Big, as they overthrow G2 on the first map on Dust.
So it wasn't quite a 16-1. But
yeah,
it may as well felt like
it was pretty close.
It may as well felt like a 16-1. It was very one-sided. G2 lacking in every department, apparently. You know, even the firing department, usually you can have some players trying to save you, but instead, everybody was missing. They were making the wrong plays at the wrong time. Really disappointing.
Yeah, it all sort of crumbled to dust there, really, and there was nothing left for that side of G2. Individually, looking like they were missing shots, not overall that effective in a lot of rounds, and even the teamwork just seemed to be at an all-time low for them. But Dust2 definitely seeming strong for Pig. A reset compared to what we saw yesterday. Stepping it up again. More of a return to form.
I think the worry is moving to map 2. G2 seems to be deflated. You know, they want to get that map over with.
They just wanted it over at the end, yeah.
So they have to recover in a massive way if they have a chance here.
Well, we'll find out when we get into that second map. It'll be our last map of the night and of the week here on Pro League B stream. We'll see you with that one after the break.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, The Road to Odense, Betway, MSI, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.